Okay, so this video is going to be a fun one. This is going to be all about location scouting. But before I get into that, I want to quickly say happy holidays. I haven't talked to you guys since the holiday festivities began, so happy holidays to you and your families. I hope it was blessed. I hope you had some great time with your family, and I hope you are ready for the new year because 2018 is going to be amazing. Anyway, happy holidays to you and yours. With that said, let's move on to the video today, which is 7 tips for location scouting for vlogs. Now, these tips are spawned from filmmaker scouting tips, but tailored towards a vlog unique run and gun type situation. I personally don't do vlogs. I do these microfilms that I mentioned, or I talk and then there's a nice cool little cinematic thing at the end of it, and that's kind of what it is. How do I get those locations? This is part of what we're gonna talk about today. With that said, let's move on to tip number 1, which it... hey Ben, you didn't mention that the Amazon Kindle Fire giveaway is still going on. You probably should mention that. My bad, my bad. So the Amazon Fire Kindle giveaway is still going on. I will go ahead and leave in the description below the entry link. Good luck, and thank you for the reminder, me. Okay, so let's talk about the point of location scouting. Your location needs to be captivating. It needs to be unique to the eye. Something that either tells a story or tells your story. You know, a lot of vloggers today just talk about where they're at. Hey, I'm here at the doctor's office today. Cool. Hey, I'm here at school. Which, okay, it's cool, but give us something more entertaining or better to look at. I know what a school looks like. I know what a doctor's office looks like. You know, I think the purpose of vlogging is to really go beyond yourself and try to entertain and create something awesome for those who want to watch it. And that's where I think locations have a humongous role in that story. And with those points, we can move on to the tips. Tip number 1 is drive or walk. All the locations that you've seen so far in this Create Not Perfect series and all those little microfilms towards the end of these videos have literally come from places that I've driven to, walked, and just saw. You always gotta visualize everything you look at as this. What will look good on frame? What will look good on the camera? What do you think looks good? If you normally drive left to school or to work, drive right and allocate the extra 10 to 15 minutes it may take. You may find something really cool. Be curious in where you're going. I know that sounds a little easy and cliche, but it literally works. The pros do this. And when you do that, you can move on to tip number 2, which is take pictures. So if you are a mobile user and you're shooting on your iPhone or your Android device, then that's what you want to take a picture in, because that's exactly how your video is going to look. You're going to get the right perspective of the frame by taking a picture first. Sometimes locations don't pan out well on film, so taking a picture eliminates all that. You'll know exactly what you're gonna get if you just take the picture. If you're working with the DSLR like I do, you're gonna wanna take the picture on a DSLR because you'll be able to zoom in and zoom out and do exactly what you need in terms of the white balance, aperture, and exposure settings. You can get the exact look on film just by taking the picture with the DSLR. So I would totally do that. So tip number 3, along with finding these locations, is Google it. So for instance, if you want to look for an abandoned building or an abandoned house, you would type in abandoned house. Here, I'm in Austin, Texas. Type that in, hit enter, and you'll come up with something. Let's move on to tip number 4, which is ask permission. Granted, you're not always gonna ask for permission. I know I don't. Some type of corporate building park. Trespassing. However, it is always recommended. Plus, you'll be super surprised how many small business owners or landlords love the fact that people want to take video or pictures of their location. And it does get rid of the run and gun scenario, which happens especially when you're vlogging or if you're an independent filmmaker, where you're trying to just grab a shot really quick and then bounce. So just ask, and if they say no, then move on to a different location. There's thousands and thousands of places that are similar to what you're looking for, trust me. Okay, so I'm rambling on in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just finish up the rest of the tips outside by shooting at a location that I found. Which reminds me, before I go, it is cold outside, so I'm gonna need to spruce up a little bit. Let's start with the head. Ah, that's a little better. I'm gonna need a jacket, so let's do that. Ah, all right, let's do this. Okay, let's head out of this cold ass studio. For tip number 5, make sure you scout your location at the same time you're planning on shooting. This will give you a better idea of how the sun reacts to that particular location, how certain objects or your subject looks in the sun at that particular time. This is the exact time I was planning on shooting at this particular location for some drone footage, but the weather sucks, so let's move on to tip number 6. Tip number 6 is scouting for power. Look around your environment. If you have power outlets, great. You can charge, you can have better shoots, you could even bring lights or other audio equipment. If you don't, if you're out in the wilderness like me, you're going to have to rely on your batteries. So you'll have to bring extra batteries, or you can actually charge your batteries in the car and wait a while, whether it's your iOS device, your Android device, or anything with a regular plug. I'll link in the description below what I use when I charge my gear in my car. Super beneficial, but there's car chargers for everything with an outlet nowadays. I would totally recommend getting one of those. And finally, for tip number 7, make sure that you pack light and minimize your crew. Do your best to go handheld, not carrying big rigs. Otherwise, you're just going to draw attention to yourself, and you're probably going to cause someone around you to grab the authorities, and then that's when you get permit citations, which suck. No one likes permit citations. Plus, for most places, if you have a crew that's less than 3 and you don't have a mounted tripod for long periods of time recording, you typically don't need a permit for most places. You see tons of independent filmmakers today minimizing their crews and going handheld. That way they don't draw any attention, and therefore it doesn't require a permit. So keep that in mind. Oh, there is a bonus tip though. If you're flying a drone, make sure to get it registered with the FAA. This not only allows you to actually fly recreationally in any of the given areas you're able to fly drones, but it also allows you to show your identification of your registration to any law enforcement that does stop you. It's happened to me a few times. The permit has saved my drone from being confiscated, sent to the police department, and having to pay a fine. It's only $5, it only takes 5 minutes. It's something that you really should be doing if you're trying to capture that type of footage. And I believe that is all I got for you guys today, so that's a wrap. If this video did provide some value, smash that like button for me, subscribe for more videos like this, and enjoy the rest of this microfilm starting now.